rise for the presentation of colours by the Florham Campus Public Safety Honour Guard and remain standing for the National Anthem, sung by the students from the chorus directed by Dr. Alan Cohen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Forward, push. Forward. Okay.
Thank you. Please take your seats. Good afternoon. My name is Gillian Small, and I'm the University Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs. I'm delighted to welcome everybody here today, students, staff, faculty, administrators, trustees, and all of our guests, to the convocation of Fairleigh Dickinson University for the 2016-17 academic year. It's my pleasure to introduce those members of the platform party who are not active participants in the program. Please stand as I call your name, and I ask the audience to please hold your applause until I've introduced everyone. Hania Ferreira, Chief Operating Officer and Senior Vice President for Finance. John Codd, University General Counsel. Richard Rees, Senior Vice President for University Advancement. Richard Frick, Vice President for Facilities and Auxiliary Services. Jason Scorza, Vice Provost for Academic and International Affairs. Neil Sturm, Vice President and Chief Information Officer. Tracy Banks, Associate Vice President for Admissions and Financial Aid. Karen Denning, President of the Faculty Senate. Ruben Flores, Vice President of the Professional Administrative Senate. And Antoinette Anastasia, Grand Marshal and Professor of Biological Sciences. Board of Trustee members: Patrick Zenner, Chairman. Robert Hallenbach, Vice Chairman. Elizabeth Catrini. Franklin Jenner. Stuart Krentzman. Donna Marquis. Ralph Muserino. William L. O'Neill. Robert Purez, and Anthony Vesper. Thank you. We're fortunate to have with us today some retired faculty. Please stand when I call your name and be recognized. Professor Helen Brudner. Professor Jim Fatimi. Are there any other retired faculty present here today? If so, please stand so that we may recognize you. I would also like to acknowledge in absentia the faculty, staff and students who are at our other campuses in Vancouver, Canada and Roxton, England, and cannot be with us today. And now it is my pleasure to present the academic deans who will introduce their new faculty. Faculty should stand when their name is called and remain standing until all names in their college or school have been called. I ask you to hold your applause until all the names for a given school have been read. Jeffrey Weinman, Dean of the Maxwell Becton College of Arts and Sciences, will introduce the new faculty in his college.
Thank you, Provost Small. We welcome 4 new faculty to our college. Svetlana Bashkova, Assistant Professor of Chemistry. Mohammed El-Sher, Assistant Professor of Biochemistry. Sarah Reynolds Hardy, Instructor in Microbiology. And Gia Ma, Lecturer of Inorganic Chemistry. Welcome all.
Michael Avaltroni, Dean of the School of Pharmacy, will introduce the new faculty in his school.
It is my great pleasure to introduce the new faculty within the School of Pharmacy, including Jae-Young Han, Assistant Professor of Pharmacy Practice, Teresita Lawson, Clinical Assistant Professor of Pharmacy Practice, Shreya Patel, Associate Professor of Pharmacy Practice, Adam Penoyer, Assistant Professor of Pharmacy Practice, Bonnie Brata Roy, Lecturer of Pharmacy Practice, and Lillian Rosaklis, Lecturer of Pharmacy Practice. Welcome to each one of you.
Lisa Braverman, Dean of the Anthony J. Petroselli College of Continuing Studies, will introduce the new faculty in her college.
Good afternoon, everyone. It gives me pleasure to announce Jarrett Bachman, Assistant Professor of Hospitality and Tourism Management. Not here. Congratulations to Jarrett.
Patty Mills, Dean of University College, Arts, Sciences and Professional Studies, will introduce the new faculty in her college.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce the following new faculty. Hope Mary Egbuonu, Clinical Instructor of Nursing. Faraz Junaid, Assistant Professor of Civil Engineering and Civil Engineering Technology. Stephen Kapika, Lecturer of English. Jiao Kim, Senior Lecturer of Mathematics. Janet Regan Livingston, Clinical Assistant Professor of Nursing. Eleanor McGlinchey, Assistant Professor of Clinical Child Psychology. Elizabeth Panuccio, Assistant Professor of Criminal Justice. Lena Sanchez Wall, Assistant Professor of Mathematics Education. Margaret Tao, Assistant Professor of Nursing for Psychiatric Mental Health. Andre Wallace, Assistant Professor of Biological Sciences, Genetics. Boazhu, Associate Professor of Nursing. William Zimmerly, Assistant Professor of Humanities. Welcome all.
Andrew Rossman, Dean of the Silberman College of Business, will now introduce the new faculty in his college.
I'm pleased to recognize the following individuals. Donald Buzenkai, Lecturer of Accounting. Zev Fried, Assistant Professor of Accounting. Leslie Mandel, Lecturer of Accounting. Kurt Maston, Assistant Professor of Supply Chain Management. Kwanji Mun, Assistant Professor of Supply Chain Management. Janice Rummel, Assistant Professor of Accounting. Yan Yan, Assistant Professor of Accounting. And Xiaofang Yang, Assistant Professor of Finance. Welcome.
First, I want to make a program note. There are vats of water in the back, behind the chairs. We would much rather you get up or have a friend get up and get a glass of water than be dehydrated or uncomfortable. I'm Peter Woolley, Professor of Comparative Politics, the Florham Campus Provost, and the Senior VP for Government and Community Affairs. It's my honor now to introduce the keynote speaker, who is the 8th President of Fairleigh Dickinson University, Dr. Christopher Capuano. Dr. Capuano holds a PhD in biopsychology from the Graduate and University Center of the City University of New York, with specializations in behavioral neuroscience, neuropsychopharmacology, and health psychology. He came to Fairleigh Dickinson University in the fall of 1986 as faculty in the School of Psychology. Dr. Capuano has taught undergraduate, master's, doctoral, and postdoctoral courses in physiological psychology, biological bases of behavior, psychopharmacology, child and adolescent psychopharmacology, neuroscience, neuropharmacology, anxiety disorders, and on various psychotropic medications, just to mention a few of the courses that he has taught. Moreover, he has published in and reviewed abstracts and research articles for refereed journals, including developmental brain research, neuropharmacology, neuropeptides, pharmacology, biochemistry and behavior, psychopharmacology bulletin, the Annals of Behavioral Medicine, and obesity research. As director of the School of Psychology for nearly 15 years, he led 20 full-time faculty and nearly 500 students in programs ranging from the baccalaureate in psychology to doctoral programs in clinical psychology and school psychology. In addition, he had fiscal oversight of the Center for Psychological Services and treatment clinics for child anxiety, learning disabilities, child and adult attention deficit disorders as well. In his subsequent role as Vice Provost for International Affairs, Dr. Capuano provided oversight of international projects of strategic importance to the university, with the goal of advancing the university's visibility as the leader in global education. Dr. Capuano was instrumental in the planning and startup of the university's newest campus in Vancouver, Canada, which is now home to more than 800 international students who hail from more than 50 countries and 5 continents. Following that success, in his role as university provost, Dr. Capuano was instrumental in facilitating the opening of the university's School of Pharmacy, only the second school of pharmacy in the state of New Jersey, now fully accredited, and which graduated its first class this past May. In short, Dr. Capuano has gone in his career from one challenge to another, and more important, from one success to another. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the 8th President of Fairleigh Dickinson University, Dr. Christopher Capuano.
What a beautiful day and what a magnificent venue. It's great to see so many faculty, staff, and trustees, and students, alumni, retired faculty, and friends, all of whom are here today to join in celebrating the beginning of a new academic year. I hope you all enjoyed a wonderful and productive summer, and I know you are as excited as I am to see our campuses come alive again with students and student activities. Convocation always kicks off the formal start of the academic year, but this year we will celebrate much more than that. In fact, we are truly beginning the start of a new era at Fairleigh Dickinson University. And I don't say this just because this is my first year as president, nor do I say this because we have several new leaders who bring tremendous talents and experiences to our university. and not because we have new faculty, new students, or even new programs. These things are certainly true and they do mark a new beginning, but what truly makes this the start of a new era isn't just what is new today, but the opportunity we have now, what we can do together to build upon our past, to seize our momentum, and to transform our university into something greater than it has ever been before. It's what's coming next that excites me, and it's what we can do together that truly will mark a new era at this great university. As Gandhi once said, the future depends on what we do in the present, what we do now. I stand before you today with great humility on becoming the 8th president in the history of this extraordinary university. This university was founded nearly 3/4 of a century ago by an incredible educational pioneer who saw a need, who saw an opportunity, and who saw a vision of something truly extraordinary. Dr. Peter Sammartino, along with his wife Sally and many other devoted people, brought life to an institution that would transform the lives of thousands of individuals. In fact, well over 100,000 graduates have had their lives changed by this institution. Certainly, Peter Sammartino cherished the notion of global education, and our mission today is directly related to his foresight and vision. But his goal wasn't just to teach people about the world. His goal was to teach people to transform themselves and in the process change their world. This is the university we have inherited, and this is the vision we now take responsibility for together. When the clock strikes midnight on December 31st, 2016, we will usher in the year 2017, and that year will mark the 75th anniversary of the opening of this great university. I don't think Peter Sammartino or Colonel Fairleigh S. Dickinson or any of the founding leaders could have imagined the growth and the impact this institution could have on so many lives. But here we are, and as we take pride in where we are today, we have to continually celebrate the past, thank those who have built the foundation for us, and cherish the memories and the legacies that inspired our birth and our growth. Our history is certainly connected to our present and to our future. In the words of the American abolitionist and author Harriet Beecher Stowe, the past, the present, and the future are really one. They are today. So while we celebrate our rich history, we now have an obligation to continue to move this institution forward. Indeed, our job today is to build our future. As many people know, FDU is known for many things. But for me, as I talk with veteran faculty members and staff, and as I meet with more and more alumni, the one dominant theme at this institution that stands out is the theme of transformation. FDU has a well-earned reputation for transforming lives, and that's actually not just for our graduates. All who come here, including our faculty and staff, have been transformed. Take me, for example. I'm not an alumnus of this wonderful university, but this university has given me opportunities, has given me many challenges over the years, and has helped me to develop into something that I didn't realize was possible some 30 years ago, or even 10 years ago for that matter. And I know it has done the same for many of you. Now we have to return the favor. We all must work together to transform this wonderful university, to take the great things we have here and make them even greater, to take the enormous potential here and turn it into new realities, and to take a good university and turn it into one of the very best universities in the dynamic metropolitan area that we live in. So how can we do that? Under President Drucker, we produced an outstanding blueprint for our future. Our university-wide strategic plan aligns our strengths with current demands and needs and provides both opportunities for renewal of existing programs and the creation of new programs that promise to distinguish us further. Moreover, our strategic plan enables us to focus resources on a few strategic initiatives at a time. Over the next few years, we will renew current programs to better reflect the skills needed in the 21st century workplace. We will also leverage our existing strengths and create centers of excellence in areas such as health sciences, hospitality, business, other STEM fields, public and global affairs, and the arts. In conjunction with our strategic plan, we have a new facilities master plan and a developing capital campaign, all of which align nicely and will preserve the integrity of current programs and facilities while enhancing our living and learning environment to be among the best anywhere in the region. Our plans include a hotel and new facilities for our hospitality school and executive education, a new campus union building on the Metropolitan campus, as well as expanded athletic facilities and a new science building on this campus, the Florham campus. Some of you may be thinking, this all sounds well and good, but what looks good on paper doesn't always come to fruition. Well, while I understand some caution is always good, I can assure you that these aspirations are not dreams that we hope to see at some point in the distant future. These are real, these are tangible, and some of these will in fact happen very soon. Just yesterday morning, I met with the leadership of a global hospitality corporation. At this meeting, we moved closer to finalizing an agreement to establish co-branding and a naming relationship with this corporation and the hospitality school here at Fairleigh Dickinson, and to begin the planning phase for a new hotel, conference center, and banquet facility on the Metropolitan campus, as well as new state-of-the-art facilities for our hospitality school and executive education programs. While we still have much to do before this project comes to fruition, we have taken an important step in our plan to further distinguish our hospitality school and the university through a partnership with a leading global hospitality corporation. And this step is a clear indication of the confidence that we and others have in our strategic plan and in what we are doing here at FDU. After convocation this afternoon, I invite everyone to join us at our new health science facility down the road a bit at 230 Park Avenue for reception and brief ceremonies to commemorate two additional strategic advances. Effective immediately, our School of Pharmacy, home to only one of two doctoral programs in pharmacy in the state of New Jersey, will become the School of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. In addition to the Doctor of Pharmacy, the Master of Health Science, and eventually the Doctor of Physical Therapy and Master of Science in Physician Assistant Studies will be added as new programming in the expanded school. In addition, the Henry P. Becton School of Nursing and Allied Health will join the School of Pharmacy and Health Sciences in offering undergraduate and graduate program in nursing within our new health science facility in Florham Park. And when we arrive at 230 Park Avenue, you will participate in a brief ribbon-cutting ceremony commemorating the opening of the third floor of that facility, which was supported by a grant from the state of New Jersey, a grant of $2.8 million. And I encourage you to join us and to tour the facility when you arrive. You will be very impressed when you see what FDU is doing in health sciences. And I have yet more great news to share with you. As many of you know, we have many strong programs and initiatives in public and global affairs at FDU, including our well-recognized research and polling institute, Public Mind. Building on these successes, I'm pleased to announce the creation of a new School of Public and Global Affairs, which will draw from and build upon the many resources we have at the university, and which will help grow and further distinguish the university's reputation in these fields. This new school, which will operate university-wide, will be home to existing and eventually new graduate programs in public affairs, in public administration, and global affairs. It will also draw from resources in our current colleges and will offer programs on both New Jersey campuses and eventually in Vancouver and at Roxton College. We will also create new specializations and build other new pieces to complement the core programs in this new school. And helping to make this possible is a very generous gift of $2.5 million made recently by FDU alumnus James Orefici and his family. The Orefici family gift will be used to support private scholarships for students studying in the new school and to support distinguished faculty who will be teaching in the new school. We are fortunate to not only have this gift, but also to have Mr. Orefici with us today. Jim, will you please stand and be recognized? Thank you, Jim, and Roseanne, your wife, who could not be with us today, for your generosity, and perhaps more importantly, for your confidence in us. Not only are we growing, but as demonstrated by these successes, it is clear that we have the support of the corporate community, our state government, and the private sector, including our alumni, all of whom see the value of what we are doing and the promise of what we can become. Oftentimes, those outside an organization are quicker to grasp an organization's value and potential than those within. We need to understand how much potential we have. We need to have as much confidence in FDU as those who are ready to assist us. These successes should inspire us to do even more, and we will. There is reason for excitement and confidence as evidenced by other recent successes at the university as well. Look at our recent reaccreditation process with the Middle States Commission on Higher Education. We received the best review in our history and passed the Commission's rigorous standards with flying colors, something that few institutions these days are doing. We also recently maintained our prestigious accreditation with AACSB International, the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business. And we secured for the first time full accreditation from the Accreditation Council for Pharmacy Education for our Doctor of Pharmacy program. We have many exciting things to talk about on our New Jersey campuses, too many, in fact, to mention, but I want to mention a few others. We concluded fiscal year 2016 with yet another surplus budget, our 17th consecutive surplus budget. And in addition to providing an across-the-board salary increase for all our full-time employees last November and a significant amount of equalization dollars for the second year in a row, we will provide a one-time payment equivalent to 2.5% of base salary to all full-time employees and part-time staff on September 15th, next week. In addition, we will provide a health care premium refund of nearly 4% of individual premiums to all full-time employees on October 31st. There is exciting news at our international campuses as well. At our Vancouver campus, the growth and impact has been tremendous. From just a handful of students when we opened nearly a decade ago, we enrolled 728 full-time students last fall. And this fall, that number should grow even higher. Over the first decade, we have greatly enlarged the learning space and strategically expanded the range of programs in Vancouver. Overall, the campus has welcomed students from 74 countries. Our graduating class this past year alone featured more than 300 students from 36 countries. It would be hard to find a more diverse and vibrant academic community than what we have established in Vancouver. Last year, we added to our curriculum in Vancouver with a new graduate program in Hospitality Management Studies, in which we already have 45 students enrolled. And over the next couple of years, we expect to increase our enrollment at the Vancouver campus to 1,000 students by adding graduate degree programs in computer science, cybersecurity, and global affairs. In England, Roxton College is once again hosting a large number of students. 52 students, in fact, arrived at Roxton College over this past weekend, one of the largest classes to study there in recent years. In addition, I am pleased to announce that we will be expanding the business model at Roxton College, and next fall we expect international students to begin studying hospitality management studies at Roxton, which will be the first degree program offered there in many years. In addition, we recently completed the purchase of the North Arms just outside the front gate to Roxton College, and this venue will be fully renovated to become a full-service restaurant, pub, and training facility for our students in hospitality management studies, as well as a place of leisure for other students, faculty, staff, and alumni who visit Roxton College on a regular basis. In closing, I'd like to share some brief personal remarks. I remember when I first started teaching at FDU on the Rutherford campus in 1986. As luck would have it, the faculty were on strike my first day of work. And Professor Brudner, who is with us today, said to me, "You better not cross the picket line, young man." You recall? Well, those were certainly not the last words I would hear from Professor Budman. Over the many years we worked together, but I have to say that most of the words she shared with me were words of encouragement. And along the way, there were many others who encouraged me and even pushed me at times to think and to dream big. Our former executive president, Carl Viola, and our late president, J. Michael Adams, were among those who encouraged and mentored me, and also taught me to plan carefully and when the time is right, to go for it. Now is that time, my friends. It is time for us to go for it. Together we will continue to plan well, engage our alumni and partners, and move this university to a higher level. Together, we will transform our university into something greater than it has ever been before. The boundaries of our future will be entirely shaped by us. As former U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt once said, "The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today." Let us move forward with strong and active faith. Let us indeed overcome any doubts, move forward with confidence and determination, and build this university into something greater than it has ever been before. Thank you, and Godspeed to all of us. Our journey has officially begun.
Thank you, Chris. I'm now pleased to present the recipients of the 2016 Distinguished Faculty Awards, who are being honoured for their outstanding contributions to the university. The recipient of this year's Distinguished Faculty Award for Service is Dr. Miriam Singer. Dr. Singer, please join me. Dr. Singer, you joined FDU in 2002 and have been one of the university's hardest working faculty members. Director of the acclaimed Quest program since 2005, you have led its very impressive growth. You oversee the curriculum, review all transcripts, and help to place more than 250 students into classrooms throughout New Jersey every winter. Your most rewarding service is that to your students, and you always go the extra mile, sometimes literally as you are driving home a student who needs a ride. Students know that regardless of the issue or time of day or night, they can reach out to Dr. Singer. You even have set up a mini scholarship fund for students. And you have earned the nickname Mama Singer for your nurturing care, guiding hand, and your occasional role as stern taskmaster when tough love is in order. Your peers also know that they can lean on your wisdom. As one colleague said, there isn't anything she won't do for fellow professors, from reviewing the syllabus to training them in the use of evaluations to suggesting instructional strategies. A key departmental leader, you also serve on the Praxis Committee, which ensures that students are prepared for their licensure exams. And you are known as the department's statistician, as you have pored over endless data to satisfy national certification efforts. At the university-wide level, you served as co-chair of the General Education Task Force and chair of the Midterm Reporting Task Force. You also have served the Faculty Senate as member of the Academic Planning and Research Committee since 2012 and deputy chair of that committee in 2014-15. For always giving generously of yourself and faithfully serving your university, your society, and most of all your students, we proudly present you the Distinguished Faculty Award for Service.
Okay, here we go. Members of the Board of Trustees, administration, colleagues, students, friends. My first inclination, which would likely be deemed sufficient by most of you, would be to say thank you and to sit down. Okay. I'm overwhelmed and honored to have been selected. I'm not used to being in the limelight. I want you to understand what motivates me and what moves me to give service to my university and to my community at large. When I was young, we purchased bread from a bakery in downtown Detroit, and over the door, between the customer service area and the back bakery, was the following quote, which I tracked down thanks to the internet. "I shall pass this way but once. Any good that I can do or any kindness I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Let me not defer nor neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again." This is attributed to Etienne de Grelais, a Quaker missionary. My parents, may they rest in peace, taught us the value of serving the community. It didn't matter where or for whom. I have taken the lessons from childhood into my adult life. I've tried to instill the same values in my own children and grandchildren. I try to instill this into my students. Pay it forward. Thank you to my parents for the lessons they taught me. Thank you to Dr. Vicki Cohn for nominating me to the Board of Trustees, the administration, and the selection committee, my colleagues without whom I would not be here today. Thank you to my students for offering me so much in return. And thank you to the Board of Trustees for acknowledging and understanding how important the area of service is to the university and to the community. Thank you to my dear husband, Carl, for supporting me, and to my children for allowing me to have a profession while not quite meeting the supermom model. My pearl of wisdom for all of you is that nothing feels as good as helping someone else to succeed. Try it. You'll like it. Thank you.
The recipients of this year's Distinguished Faculty Award for Research and Scholarship are Dr. Dennis Scotty and Professor Lloyd Altan. Dr. Scotty, could you join me? Dr. Scotty, through your research on healthcare management, savings, systems and policy, reform and planning, you take a close look at a vital sector which affects people every day. To quote a colleague, Dr. Scotty is one of the leading experts on managed care, HMOs, and the Affordable Care Act. He is possessed of an uncommon ability to see connections among things that others do not, and is committed to generating important insights and sound advice. With the economics of healthcare becoming a great societal concern, such research findings become increasingly important. In studies, you've compared medical devices and pills to procedures, seeking ways to save money and deliver effective care, examined how high-performance management practices can benefit employee satisfaction and service costs in veterans' healthcare, and looked for ways to curb patient readmission rates. Simply put, you have devoted your professional life to studying how healthcare systems can better work and be more effective for patients and caregivers. To this end, you've been named the Alfred E. Driscoll Professor of Healthcare and Life Sciences Management in recognition of your contributions to the field. Your dedication to your research and work are valuable to anyone seeking or providing medical care. And so today we honor you with our Distinguished Faculty Award for Research and Scholarship.
Well, thank you, Provost Small, for that very gracious citation, and good afternoon to all. My command of the English language doesn't permit me to express adequately my appreciation and gratitude for this recognition. I would, however, like to thank my department chair, Dr. Gwen Jones, for nominating me, my dean, Dr. Andy Rossman, as well as our new president, Dr. Chris Capuano, for steadfastly encouraging me to apply. And last but not least, I'd like to extend my thanks to my colleague and co-researcher, Dr. Joel Harmon, who interrupted his sabbatical to join us here today. I also feel compelled to acknowledge the fact that few, if any, of us who dabble in the realm of research can ever truly take full credit for our work. As scholars, we stand on the shoulders of our learned predecessors and are the beneficiaries of their contributions. Accordingly, I view myself as merely the caretaker of this award rather than its title holder. During the course of my career, I've learned that research always takes longer than you planned, and that an acceptance speech doesn't need to be eternal in order to be immortal. That said, I'll step away from the podium and allow the convocation to proceed. But before doing so, I'd like to extend my sincere congratulations to Dr. Lloyd Alton, okay, who's also being honored today as the co-recipient of this award. Congratulations, Professor Alton, and thank you.
Professor Alton, could you join me at this table? Professor Alton, as the Bronx Borough historian, you are an important asset to that borough. As a history professor for 52 years, you are a vital member of the FDU faculty. One colleague observes, in terms of research and scholarship, Lloyd Alton has a prolific and remarkable record. You've written 7 books, co-authored 6, and published more than 1,000 articles about the Bronx, in everything from encyclopedias to magazines. The colleague continues, his historic walking tours and bus tours are legendary. I'd love to go on one. You've been a guest lecturer at notable institutions, appeared in television interviews, given radio interviews, and been featured in online publications, shows, and podcasts. Each day you tell the borough's story, stories of people, places, politics, and pastimes. In that way, you're securing its legacy. Because of your work, others have picked up the mantle and begun to study the Bronx. You've helped restore pride to the borough, ultimately contributing to its renaissance. For your decades-long research on the Bronx and historical contributions to the borough, we are proud to bestow upon you our Distinguished Faculty Award for Research and Scholarship.
Thank you very much. I'm overwhelmed. In my more than half a century of service to this university, because of the work that I have done, I have received many honors and awards from many different areas and locations. For whatever prominence I have achieved, and for whatever luster I have given to the university by doing so, I want to principally thank the administrators and the faculty of Petrocelli College, where I teach, for their consistent and steadfast prodding of me, to their support of whatever I have to do, and by encouraging me to continue it. Of all the awards I have ever won, this I cherish because it comes from my colleagues here at the university, and it will always remind me, and whoever comes after me, of the generosity and the support that you as well have given me. And for this, you have my everlasting gratitude. Thank you very much.
The recipient of this year's Distinguished Faculty Award for Teaching is Professor Maureen Keefe. Professor Keefe, you show just how much you care in everything you do for your students. One colleague writes, if you ever walk by, you will see that Dr. Keefe always has students in her office and some waiting outside of her door. You will hear her patiently explaining material that students find challenging and listening to students' career aspirations and offering advice. You teach quantitative analysis, mathematics and statistics, and accounting and finance. In the world of business, your students excel and credit you as a driver of their success. One student writes, Professor Maureen Keefe helped me understand the value of academics and apply them to the real world. To this day, statistics is one of my most valued courses. Your passion and dedication extend beyond the classroom. You chair the Silberman College Student Development Committee, you're on the campus student success team, you attend late nights breakfasts and mentor students in the honors program. You're also actively innovating when it comes to the curriculum by designing courses and authoring a textbook. You've been previously recognized for your teaching contributions with the Silberman College Teacher of the Year Award and as the Student Government Association Faculty Member of the Year, and with the Equal Opportunity Fund Outstanding Faculty Award. For inspiring students and for caring so deeply about them before, during and after your classes, we honor you today with the university's Distinguished Faculty Award for Teaching.
It's such a tremendous honor, and I'm incredibly touched that this university selected me for such a prestigious award. It's a tremendous honor and privilege to be selected by my colleagues at Fairleigh Dickinson University to receive the 2016 Distinguished Faculty Award for Teaching. I owe gratitude to many people who have been there for me during my teaching career. But I'd like to first thank my colleague and former department chair, Dr. Paul Yoon, who nominated me for this award. And I would also like to thank Dr. Joseph Kiernan, who was instrumental in bringing me to FDU. Indeed, I wish to thank all of my colleagues and my family. But most of all, it is the students. Those individuals have been in my math classes throughout the years and whose lives I've had touched. They are the people who I wish most to thank. They are the reason I have been able to receive this honor today. Being a faculty member of Fairleigh Dickinson University has been a rewarding and gratifying experience. But most of all, I can honestly say I am so fortunate to have a job that I love passionately. I love what I do, and I love the students that I see every day. It's the best gift I could ever have. I would like to leave you with the following quote written by William A. Ward. The mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires. I hope that I have inspired a few students, and I will continue to do so in the future years. Thank you.
Just as we have many faculty who have given years of distinguished service to Fairleigh Dickinson University, so we have many staff members who make outstanding contributions to the success of the university. These pillars of FDU have served the university with commitment and with distinction for 10 years or more. They have promoted civility on campus. They have shown unusual concern for the welfare of students, and they serve as role models for their colleagues and for the students. This award is made to no more than 2 people from each campus each year. I am proud to introduce the Florham campus recipients of the Pillars of the University Award. First recipient is Laurie Ike, Associate Director. of Enrollment Services for records. Laurie has been an Associate Director of Enrollment Services for more than 12 years and is widely regarded for her vast knowledge, impeccable professionalism, and genuine warmth. A fair and considerate leader, Laurie well addresses the many challenges students face as they embark on their collegiate journey through the Office of Enrollment Services. She not only helps students solve problems, she nurtures their hopes and dreams, engages students with great understanding, and above all, strengthens their bonds with our university. In addition to her many responsibilities, she assumed the management of the administrative services for the doctoral students in the School of Pharmacy and has done an outstanding job serving that talented population. Outside of the office, Laurie is influential in a wide range of activities. She is the advisor for the Zeta Tau Alpha sorority, and she participates in every late night breakfast. She is also a supporter of the American Cancer Society Relay for Life, and today is not the first time she's been honored by the university. In 2015, she received an award from FDU's Educational Opportunity Fund. And now we honor her again and recognize her as a true pillar of Fairleigh Dickinson University.
Thank you, everyone. I am truly honored to be joining the ranks of the other pillars that I know very well, some from my office and some from other offices that I work with. I have to tell you that my journey at FDU, like President Capuano, has been a growth for me. Like President Capuano, my first day was in April, and an unexpected snowstorm occurred, and we got to go home early. Working from the corporate world prior to this, I thought, this is the best job ever. And it kept getting better. I have 3 wonderful daughters who are all now alumni of FDU, and I'm proud to say gainfully employed. Proud that my family is here with me, Frank and my 3 daughters, and also my other family, the FDU family that we've been through together. Good things and bad things, celebrations and sadness. Carol Creekmore and all the colleagues that I have in the Office of Enrollment Services are truly a family that I cherish, along with other departments. So I thank them all for being here. I see that there's some from Metro that have come also to help me celebrate this. But I have to tell you, one of the things I love most about this job, I thought, I love numbers, I love customer service, this is the right job for me. I had no idea the things that students would teach me. As Dr. Alvatroni knows, working with the School of Pharmacy, I was on the phone one day with a lender trying to help someone with a loan, and there he was with an iPad, and I had just received one for Mother's Day. So while we were on hold listening to the music from Sally Mae, wonderful pharmacy student taught me how to use my iPad, and from that point on, I fell in love with my iPad. So I truly can say FDU has given me more than just employment here. And just when you think it can't get any better or any more unusual, the other day I picked up the phone after working the weekend and late nights trying to help students get cleared for the dorms. I picked up the phone and there was a woman on the top of her lungs belting out gospel music, and she didn't even know I answered the phone. And I said, "You're singing to me," and she went, "Oh, Lori, you answered the phone. You made me so happy. My son is out of my house and he's in the dorms." Thank you. Thank you all.
The second recipient from the Florham campus is Dante Fideli, head coach, women's softball. Dante? Maybe my part first.
Oh,
Okay.
I had my opening line already.
In sports, we measure success by wins, and Dante is clearly a winner. Last year, he led the softball squad to a Middle Atlantic Conference championship, another in a long line of triumphs. During his career, he has won nearly 300 games and has been in a total of 7 Middle Atlantic Conference tournaments and 4 East Coast Athletic Conference tournaments. He has twice been named a Middle Atlantic Conference Coach of the Year. Collegiate athletics, however, are about much more than wins and losses. Dante's student athletes are successful because he would have it no other way. In fact, he's been described as a mother hen to his players, both on the field and in the study hall. The result is that his retention rate is often 100%. One colleague summed it up, saying Dante is, quote, the ultimate team player because he is willing to put anyone ahead of himself, end quote. And that applies to everything he does. He does a lot, from giving tours of the campus to raking the softball field himself. I've seen you do it. From raising funds for spring training trips to cheering on the other student athletes and coaches of other teams. He cares deeply about the campus community, which is why he took on the added challenge of managing the cross-country squads. For these accomplishments and for much more, we now call him a pillar of FDU. Now your turn.
Thank you, Dr. Willie. I knew I should have written something down, but I just want to thank President Capuano, the administration of the university, Bill Clicker, my athletic director, and if I don't mention Roger Kindle, I'll hear about it until the day he retires. So, Roger Kindle. Those of you that know him know what I mean. Those that don't, count your blessings. I want to thank my athletic fellow coaches, the students that I've crossed paths with here in the last 17 years, but mostly my student athletes, who, when I'm asked how's the job going, my answer is always, it beats a real job. So in coming here every day and playing, whether it's riding the bike when cross country's running and I follow them to make sure they run where they're supposed to, or it's getting out in the field and showing someone how to complete a play, it gives me great excitement and I have a lot of fun. I go home tired most of the time, but I wouldn't have it any other way. But I want to thank everyone that attended. I want to also congratulate the fellow recipients here. And Lori made it very hard to follow up with some one-liners here, so thanks for that. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Bob Bodie. I serve as Provost of the Metropolitan Campus, and it's my pleasure to introduce the Metropolitan Campus recipients of the Pillar of University Award. The first recipient is William R. Kennedy, Director of Web Operations. Will, would you join us? William R. Kennedy, Director of Web Operations, Metropolitan Campus, known as Bill. For 2 decades, Bill has been the man behind our most visible public face, our FDU website. Bill became our first university webmaster in 1997 and has led the growth of the site from just a handful of pages to now thousands, receiving millions of hits, thus showcasing the best of what we do as a university. He not only unites and organizes the many disparate parts that compose our complex university, but he manages a never-ending avalanche of demands with an unceasing devotion and diplomacy. The ultimate team player, Bill works endlessly to train the community and to empower all of us. to enhance our website. But his influence goes far beyond the internet. His support services also include creating the process at commencement to share a congratulatory message from families. A true Renaissance man, Bill is an avid photographer and can often be seen photos on campus with his work being displayed on the internet and the website. Bill even has played the tuba in the pep band. For his many contributions, we salute Bill as a pillar of the university.
So what I like to do is get different points of view. This is going to be a panorama shot, smile. Thank you, couldn't pass that up. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate the honor of joining the pillars of FDU of this year and past years. I share the honor with my family, including my wife, FDU adjunct professor Dr. Monica Karski, who graciously tolerates my treating FDU as a career and as an avocation. I share it with Angela Carfagna's University Communications team, and especially Joyce Beck, the other half of FDU Web Operations. I also share it with another important group of employees, all the FDU staff who serve as adjunct faculty, often semester after semester for years. In addition to their administrative and technical jobs, they take on course prep and teaching obligations that are a demonstration of FDU's commitment to its students. They deserve our appreciation, and I'm pleased to be able to remind you of what they do. Thank you again.
A nice bonus to Bill receiving his award. He leaves for France next week for 2 weeks, so we should have a good time. Okay, our next and last recipient goes to Brian O'Connor. Brian O'Connor, Associate Director of Management Information Systems, Metropolitan Campus. Brian has been a valuable member of the university community for more than 20 years and has served in many roles throughout our campuses. He began working in enrollment services on the Florham campus and quickly was entrusted with a leadership position. He later moved to MIS, and in his current role, he brings a wealth of information and intelligence to so many areas of the university. Brian always works diligently, whether keeping our essential software running without a hitch, mitigating problems before they spread, or virtually assisting students with WebVisor issues. While often working behind the scenes and out of sight, Brian is always ready to lend a hand, assisting everyone he can with courtesy, compassion, and maintaining his composure in even the most stressful of times. His presence in the community extends to other pursuits. For example, he has supported the Relay for Life, Strides Against Breast Cancer, and the Operation Care Package Project. Brian is indeed an integral part of the structure that supports all of our daily operations, and today we take great pride in honoring him as a pillar of FDU.
Thank you. I'll make this brief because I know my wife is excited to go see the new nursing facility because she graduated from the nursing program here. Thank you for those who nominated me, who I actually don't know officially who they were. I know there were multiple people. Thank you to the MIS staff because I would not be standing up here without you guys. I'd like to thank Carol Creekmore for giving me my initial opportunity here. back when I was just a child with no experience. I'd also like to thank Saul Kleiman, who then took me under his wing and taught me everything about the university that anyone normal can retain, because he knows more about this school than anyone. I'd also like to thank my wife and family for tolerating endless long nights and weekends. And again, I'd like to thank Saul again and Neil for setting the bar high and leading by example. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming to the 2016-2017 convocation of faculty, staff, and students. My scorekeepers have weighed in, and I have to tell you, they report that because we're concluding at 3:14 in the afternoon, we have broken the convocation record set 4 years ago by a full 10 minutes. Yeah. So after we recess, and do what the platform committee recess first, we strongly wish that you join us at the School of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. Right down the street, exactly 0.9 miles. There are people handing out directions, if you need directions, to the facility. We will convene on the 3rd floor, which has newly been built out for new programs in both pharmacy, in nursing, in physician's assistants, and other areas. So I encourage you to get an eyeful of the cutting edge of the university, as President Capuano has pointed out. Have a great academic year, and we'll see you at the School of Pharmacy.